Good evening, everyone. We're going to be getting started with our executive committee.
All right. We're ready to call this meeting to order. Executive, are we ready? Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the executive committee special meeting, and today's Thursday, January 12th, the year of our Lord 2023, and the time is 5:34 p.m. Public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within committee scope, including items on or not on the agenda. Do we have any?
There were no speakers in the audience, and Art, I don't know how many.
There's one attendee. If you would like to present anything to the board at this time, please go ahead and do so. No response.
Hearing none, we'll go to the consent agenda. The recommendation is, yes. Director Gould?
Thanks. Yeah, President Clark, we may want to call roll of the executive committee so that it's a matter of record.
Okay. Well, yeah,
I can do that.
let's do that.
With,
Yes. Thank you, Director Gould.
I will begin with Director Gould,
President,
Director Wood,
Present.
and President Clark, turning
Present.
it over to you.
Present, okay. So let's go to, does anybody have any questions? You've read the consent agenda. Do you have any questions?
I'll move the consent, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion.
and
Need
I'll,
a second?
and I'll second.
Second, Board Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
and Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. Next, we go to action items, and what we're doing as the executive committee is we have some vacancies on the finance committee and one on the policy committee. City of Citrus Heights 2x2, and also the alternate for county 2x2 committee also. So we'll go down one by one. For the finance committee, do we have a nominee?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Director Weber for the Finance Committee, please.
Okay. Do we have a second on that? Director Gould?
Well, yeah, Mr. Chair, have we chatted with these individuals about their willingness to serve in these committees, or we're
Yes,
just gonna appoint them?
yes, the Director Weber has expressed an interest.
Wonderful. Then
Mhm.
I second that nomination.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please, Madam Clerk.
Director Gould,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
and Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next is the policy committee. Director Sailors has expressed an interest in the policy committee. So we need a nomination.
I'll nominate Director Sailors for policy.
Second.
Okay, we have since we have no questions, we have a motion and a second to nominate Director Sailors to the policy committee. All right, next we have the regional, I'm sorry,
We need a vote.
President
Call the
Clark,
roll,
if I
please.
can call roll.
yes.
Director Gould,
Aye.
and Wood,
Aye.
and Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next, the next item is the Regional Fire EMS Communication Center, JPA. We don't have any vacancy there. The City of Citrus Heights 2x2 committee, there's a vacancy, and since that's in Director Weber's division, I will nominate him.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a motion and a second. Do we have would you call the roll, please?
Absolutely. Director Gould,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
and Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, City of Rancho Cordova, there's no vacancy. Sacramento County 2x2 committee. There's an alternate vacancy, and Director Sailors has expressed interest in that, an interest in that. I haven't had any other requests. Nobody else has contacted me, so I'll go ahead and nominate her for that position.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you call the roll, please, Board Clerk?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
and Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, so we don't have any other vacancies, but the other items that we have is Reserve Firefighters Qualification Review Commission. That's full, California Special District Association, no vacancy, and then finally, the Fire District Association of California. With that. Meeting adjourned.
Well, hold on. I got one
Yeah.
point I'd like to ask.
Well, I'm sorry, yes,
Of you, Mr. Chair.
indeed.
Mr. President. In the past, we had a system where the directors, if we had questions, we would be able to submit them through a portal on the website,
Mhm.
and it would be directed to the appropriate staff member to get responses. That process served two good functions. One, it kept staff from being bombarded by multiple directors, possibly with multiple repetitive questions. And it also allowed staff to maintain and make sure answers were being given, that there would be responses out. It also kept us from stepping on each other's requests. So we got kind of careless with that and out of that practice, both with the onset of COVID and the pandemic, and then the change in the website. The new website does not allow for that capacity anymore. But I'd like to see us get something back on track. I think it would be helpful to the chief and to all our staff to have a single point of contact rather than something from all 9 of us bugging them periodically as whims and wild hairs get up our into our bodies. So
Just wild hair.
Madam Clerk, is that Chief, you look like you had something to say.
Yeah, and Director, I'd be happy to look into that and look at the feasibility. I can't imagine why it would be a problem. But my IT skills are limited to a checkerboard and stuff, so.
Even without an IT effort, if it's something that maybe the clerk can work on to, all questions from us go to her. And then she uses, because as I understand it, you used to control that function, right?
Yes, so the way it was set up was on our website, directors would have a portal to reach out for information. However, one of the challenges we had was that not only were board members, but also members of the public were able to reach out. So in order to revise the system, we started the Public Records Act on our website. So I would recommend we have a similar system in place. Maybe it is something as simple as just board members email the board clerk and I keep track of those requests. It was also a good way for me to track the information that was being asked. If it should ever be asked again in the future, I was able to utilize those folders for the information that was provided. And it was a smooth process. I think it worked well. And I think with maybe a few minor tweaks, we could get it up and running again.
Is this a process or something that we can get some sort of a status back to the board, maybe at our next meeting, so we can, all 9 of us can go, yeah, we want to do it, and make sure that we follow it?
May I speak to that?
Oh.
So we do, the director would have a working group that deals with these. One of the topics on the agenda here in the next week or two, and I'm looking at Art here, is to discuss some of these issues with the website. We can certainly raise that as an issue to see if we can bring back some of that functionality and be able to report back next week.
I don't want to spend a lot of your time and effort.
It
I
may be-
want to take the load off of, we got a lot going on. I want to make sure command staff can do what command staff needs to do without us
And I'm
pestering
looking
them.
at Art, because this is Art's expertise and he happens to be in the room, but it may not be as hard as we think. So let us ask those questions and see
Okay.
what we can do for you.
All right, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chair?
Thank you. Yes, Director Gould.
Yes,
You have your hand
Ted, Director Woods, I like this idea of kind of almost codifying that. would you be amendable to having that then sent to the policy committee so that we have it a procedure or a process that's discussed with IT, with the board clerk, and get it kind of all worked out where it becomes a policy that we can include in the board policies when a new board member comes on and has those kind of questions in the future?
That's actually exactly what I was hoping we would ultimately do with this. I wanted to get the discussion started and ultimately have this be something that was cemented and required of us to follow. I think
Yep.
our people have got a lot to do, and we've gotten very lax and very comfortable reaching out to them, and they've never complained. But they need to do their job and not respond to all of us individually.
Right. So I'm just wondering if we ought to just have the president charge the policy committee with
Yeah, we can refer
with that being on their agenda.
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
Good idea. Yeah, good idea.
All right,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
thank you. Having no further business to take care of in this executive committee special meeting, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 5:44. And the next meeting will be announced.